Oops, maybe I gave you the wrong one. See? Okay. Now I updated it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I have the option to stop broadcast. So it looks like it's going live. Yeah. Anyone? You see me on the phone? Ah. Can you hear me through the computer? My lips aren't moving? Well, I'm talking to you. Oh, okay. So there's just a delay though, but you got it. Okay. Yay. So Shelly and Jenny.
Oh, I
Yay! Okay. Yay, yay, yay. You see your mom?
Yeah.
All right, sorry guys. Aubrey decided to unplug the internet. I think we'll get going. So, I'm excited. I finally get to do this and give Debbie a break. Kind of freaked her out for a little bit there. But, okay, so tonight we are going to go over how your thoughts can really choose your actions. So, we really need to read some inspirational books before bed when we first wake up, so that way we can get our day started with something really good and inspirational and happy and go lucky, and then finish it. Because basically our emotions, they move us into an action, and our action creates a habit. So if we're thinking negatively, we're going to be acting negatively. So we need to have a visible circumstance. They will equal invisible thoughts. So basically, like science, it shows like our thoughts about things that happen to us can have a big impact on how we feel and how we act. Not just like in big events in our life, but even small everyday issues or hassles that go on. But you know, our thinking, it's always obvious, isn't always obvious or accurate. No more. Becoming more in tune, you know, with the patterns of our thinking, you can have a big impact on how your happiness is and how our behavior and our relationships with others are. So this is one of the most like foundational skills of resilience, and has been really like shown to have a positive impact on happiness. So you don't always want to trust your emotions, okay? You want to have control over your thoughts. So whatever you dwell on or however you feel, that can definitely control you. So you really want to plan to win. You don't want to play not to lose. And let me repeat that again, because that's how I was doing my business forever, and I need to switch my thinking. So you want to play to win, not play to not lose. So you don't want to do the minimum. You want to go above the minimum, okay? So, you know, it's not easy to believe that when bad things happen to us, that this is the event itself that's driving on how we feel as a result, to which causes us to react or behave in a particular way. So, like, for example, when we feel the urge of anger after someone pulls out in front of us when we're driving, or get guilt when we miss a deadline on something. So, how you can break through this, kind of like the ABCs. So the first step is to, you know, like learn how to untangle our thoughts, feelings, and actions. So A is for activating the event or things that happened. So A is activating event or things that happened. B is the belief or the thoughts that immediately run through our head. So B is for belief. And C stands for consequences, the emotions we feel and how we react as a result. So here's some examples. So like activating an event. Say like you're working hard for a deadline, and someone asks you for like the second time that week how it's going, and it reminds you that, you know, she would like to read it or see how it goes before it's turned in. So like one person like with belief could be like, oh my gosh, like she thinks I'm useless, I'm not capable of doing this on my own, she thinks I'm being really slow and should have finished this by now. So with that belief, your consequence is making you feel stressed, making you feel worried and sad, like you cannot concentrate on the report, and at the end you're just making unnecessary errors, you're not sleeping well, everything else kind of goes down because of that thinking. Now someone on the other hand could be like, what a relief, like this is an important project, and I'm glad like she's checking up on me and is willing to help me through this before like I go and finish like this huge party or follow up or something like that. And that consequence is going to make you feel reassured and supported. It's going to make you finish it because you want to finish it. So do you see kind of how those different reactions, like how you think of things, like your belief changes your consequences? There is a book out there. Let me see where I'm at. The Power of Habit is a book. So we want to create small wins throughout the day. So making sure that you have your daily, I'm at a loss of words here, your your weekly plan sheet, but with daily, you know how it's broken down into hours. You want to make sure that you can have wins throughout those hours. Okay. You want to have your to-do list. What gives you the most value? And you want to do that first. And you want to start with the end in mind. So basically, starting with the end in mind is like, what is your goal? What do you want to complete within that hour of that day? Whether it's booking, whether it's recruiting calls, whether it's following up with your customers or with a PCP, what is your goal? Do you want to talk to at least 10 people? Do you want to sell a certain amount of money? So know what your goal is, okay? And so one of the things that you can do to help this is you can do a brain dump. So whether it's in the morning or before you go to bed, so that way you can have a good night's rest, you want to put down what needs to be done for the next day or through the week, or what's weighing on your mind. The second thing that you can do is your weekly plan sheet, like I was talking about. And you need to do it by the hour. That way you can actually see how much time you have in the day, and you're not just making up excuses. Well, I don't really have a lot of time. Well, here you had a half hour where in between kids or whatnot, and you could have done some texting, bookings or calls or follow-ups, anything like that. You want to delegate is number 3. What can you say no to? Number 4, you want to have a specific time to do your plan. Okay? Set that into your weekly plan sheet. And you want to do this every day for 5 days, so that way it helps start a habit for you. Okay? The next thing that I wanted to go over tonight, and I know I'm like going to be rushing through it because it started late and I'm so sorry, the value of earning your free Mary Kay card. There are so many of you that definitely can be doing this, but you're, I think, selling yourself short, and maybe you don't realize what it could save you for you and your family. So if we just take the Chevy Cruze, bare minimum right there, Chevy Cruze. The average car loan is 4 years. So we're going to base this off of 4 years, okay? So the monthly payment is $375. And in 4 years, that's 48 months. So take $375 times 48 months, that's $18,000. That's $18,000 that you can be saving, okay? There are over $120 million worth of Mary Kay cars that are being driven by successful consultants and directors. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of savings for families. So with Mary Kay paying for the majority of your insurance, your tax, your license, these women are saving thousands of dollars for themselves and their families. What would you do with an extra $18,000 in 4 years? You could be saving up for some college education. Family vacations for years. Where would you want to vacation? Because you're driving in that free car, where can you be vacationing at? Do you want a new house? That could be a good down payment on a new house. Or even a retirement investment. You don't even have to spend it. You can save it for retirement for later. Can you, this is the question, can you afford to dismiss or let these kind of savings pass you by? Can you afford that? Allow success to be yours with Mary Kay. Okay? So, for the Career Car program, what do you have to do to be on target? To be on target, you have to have 5 or more active personal team members. Okay? People that you personally recruit. 5. $5,000 combined personal and team in section 1 in 1 month. So $5,000 combined personal and team in 1 month. And you have to be active. And these requirements must be met each month to be considered on target. Okay? So that is being on target for your car. Now, qualification is a little bit different. I'm going to go quickly over this because you can get that on the Arcane, all this information on the Arcane Touch. So basically, you may have qualified as a brand achiever in 1, 2, 3, or 4 months based on the following. So $20,000, don't push the wrong button, $20,000 in combined personal team wholesale in Section 1 production. Okay, 14 active team members, and you can actually contribute $5,000 in personal wholesale towards the $20,000 requirement. So your team must contribute a minimum of $15,000 towards the $20,000 requirement. Okay, and you have to be active within those 1, 2, 3, or 4 months that you finish that qualification in. Okay. So, on to almost the very last thing that we're going to go over today. We are going to have a SMART goal, and SMART is an acronym, and the S for SMART is you need to have a specific goal. Okay, the M on SMART is it needs to be measurable. If it can be done, and how do you know? Okay, measurable. The A is for availability. R is for reality. Dream big, okay, but be realistic. Be realistic. And T is for time, time bound to hit that goal. So you need to have the time on that. So here is a way to have a 6-week SMART plan. You ready? What would have to happen in 6 weeks for you to say that these were the best 6 weeks ever? So have that goal. What would have to happen in 6 weeks for you to say that these were the best 6 weeks ever? So if you were to look at your calendar right now and go through and starting tomorrow, circle what the end of your 6 weeks was, okay? You need to crunch your numbers to figure out your daily activities, okay? So whatever your goal is, kind of like we're doing at the beginning of the month, figure out the amount of value, and you're going to put a price on it, and you're going to break it down into daily, okay? And then what are 2 daily activities that you'll do every day, 5 to 6 days a week, for the next 6 weeks that will make your goal happen? So what are 2 daily activities you will do every day for 5 to 6 days a week for the next 6 weeks that will make your goal happen? And you want to write those down. Keep those in front of you, okay? And so you're going to write them on your calendar. You're going to write them by your computer, whatever it's going to take. And I want you to highlight them when you complete them. And here's a little bit of homework. I want you to send your director a picture of your calendar at the end of every day for the next 6 weeks. Whoa. Would that show her, like, if you went to the bank, or if you had a party, or if you went to, I mean, what would that show your director? What are you doing? Are you filling out your weekly accomplishment? Okay? What are you doing? So, send your director, if you're challenged, if you're up for the challenge, and I think everybody should be, send a picture of your calendar at the end of every day for the next 6 weeks, and that will help you be accountable and reach your SMART plan. Okay? I want to quickly read to you, and I should be done in 4 minutes so that we're done at 9:30, The Race. And this is a poem, okay? So whenever I start to hang my head in front of failure's face, my downward fall is broken by the memory of a race. A child's race, young boys, young men, how I remember well. Excitement sure, but also fear. It was not hard to tell. They all lined up, so full of hope, each sought to win the race, or tie for first, or if not that, at least take second place. And fathers watched from off the side, each cheering for his own, and each child hoped to show his dad that he would be the one. The whistle blew, and off they went. young hearts and hopes afire. To win, to be the hero, that was each young child's desire. And one child in particular, whose dad was in the crowd, was running in the lead and thought my dad would be so proud. But as he sped down the field across a shallow dip, the child who thought to win lost his step and slipped. Trying hard to catch himself, his hands flew up in brace, and mid-air the laughter of the crowd, the child fell on his face. So down he fell with lost hope. He couldn't win, not now. Embarrassed, sad, he only wished to disappear somehow. But as he fell, his dad stood up and showed his anxious face. This to the child so clearly said, "Get up and win the race." He quickly rose, no damage done, behind a bit, that's all. And off he ran with all his might to make up for his fall. So anxious to restore himself, to catch up, and to win, his mind went faster than his legs, and he slipped and fell again. He wished then that he had quit before, with only one disgrace. I'm hopeless as a runner now, I should not try to race. But in the laughing crowd he searched and found his father's face, that steady look that said again, "Get up and win the race." So up he jumped to try again, 10 yards behind the last. If I'm going to gain those yards, I've got to run real fast. Exerting everything he had, regaining 8, then 10, but trying hard to catch the lead, he slipped and fell again. 3 feet. He lay there silently. A tear dropped from his eye. There is no sense in running any more. 3 strikes, I'm out. Why try? The will to rise had disappeared. All hope had fled away. So far behind, so error-prone, I'll never go all the way. I've lost, so what's the use, he thought. I'll live with my disgrace. But then he thought about his dad, who soon he would have to face. Get up, an echo sounded low. Get up and take your place. You are not meant for failure here. Get up and win the race. Get up, it said. You have all not lost at all, for winning is no more than this, to rise each time you fall. So up he rose to run once more, refusing to forfeit. He resolved that win or lose the race, at least would not quit. So far behind the others now, the most he had ever been. So he gave it all he had and ran as though to win. 3 times he had fallen, stumbling. 3 times he had rose again, too far behind to hope to win. But he still ran on to the end. They cheered the winning runner as they crossed the finish line first. Head high, proud and happy, no falling, no disgrace. But when the fallen youngster crossed the line, last place, the crowd gave him the greatest cheer for finishing the race. And even though he came in last, with head bowed, low, unproud, you would have thought that he had won the race to listen to the crowd. And to his dad he sadly said, I did not do so well. To me you won, his father said. You rose each time you fell. Now when things seem dark and difficult to face, the memory of that child helps me in my race. For all of life is like that race which ups and downs and falls. And all you have to do to win is rise each time you fall. And when depression and despair shout loudly in my face, another voice within me says, get up and win that race. So no matter if you're really high in your business right now or if you are on your knees and you have fallen, you just need to get up, because the only way to fail is to not get up at all. So hopefully that you enjoyed some of this tonight, and hopefully I didn't ruin your night by not getting it out on time. So let us know what you thought, and we will see you Tuesday in Mohawk. See ya.